Ready?
Okay. One of the most difficult things about reassembling and setting up a sliding stem valve is making sure the valve travels properly. Right now this is a valve rated for 3/4 of an inch of travel. The valve body by itself will actually travel more than 3/4 of an inch. If you put a tape measure on here, you'll find it exceeds 3/4 of an inch of travel, and that's okay. Likewise, the actuator by itself also exceeds 3/4 of an inch of travel by itself. If I were to apply air pressure here and fully stroke the actuator, I'd get more than 3/4 of an inch of movement. Like this, I get more than 3/4 of an inch of movement. The way this is supposed to work is when the two stems come together, and we put the stem coupler on here to couple the valve stem onto the actuator stem, we have to set these up in such a way that the two stems are locked in the correct position to give us exactly 3/4 of an inch of travel. The way this is supposed to work, if it's set up properly, on the downstroke at 0% open, it should bind or stop on the valve seat. The plug will come down on the seat and stop right there. On the upstroke at 100%, it'll bind on the top. The actuator will prevent it from moving any further. That gives you exactly your 3/4 of an inch of motion. If they are too close together, what happens is it will bind on the upstroke on the plug, and it will bind on the downstroke on the actuator, giving you less than 3/4 of an inch of travel. If they're too far apart, the opposite will happen. On the downstroke, it binds on the plug. On the upstroke, it binds on the actuator. Either way, too far apart or too close together, you will not get the required stroke of the valve. In one case, if they're too close together, the plug won't fully seat and the valve will never fully close. In the other case, if they're too far apart, the valve never fully opens. I've seen this messed up on a lot of different valves, including valves that were professionally rebuilt. So, as a technician, when I see a valve come back from the rebuild shop, the very first thing I do is I check it by applying air pressure here and making sure I get the prescribed amount of travel out of the valve. If I don't, I know I need to go back and readjust the coupler and make sure I get the proper travel. So that's probably the most challenging aspect of reassembling the valve for students, is getting that proper amount of valve travel. That's how and why it works.